So if you like this video, if you don't mind putting a thumbs up, maybe click on the subscribe button. That helps me and my channel a lot. I really appreciate it. Now on to the case. Hey, welcome to Punk Rock Sherlock. And today I'm going to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case, which is in the news everywhere. It's been about 12 days that this woman has been missing. And it's terrifying. Like, I really thought that this would have been over within a few days. But it looks like it's still more evidence is being found. I'm going to talk briefly about yesterday the FBI plucked a glove. I have my little cheat sheet right here. The FBI plucked a glove from the side of the road about 1.5 miles from Nancy Guthrie's house in Tucson, Arizona, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to talk about the timeline because I think there's some significance in the timeline, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it. 5:30ish, she took an Uber to her daughter's home. Why would she do that? I mean, if they were only, I think, 4 miles from where she lives, why didn't one of them just come pick her up if she didn't want to drive at night? Why take an Uber? That's weird. But, you know, sometimes old people are like, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to do it. So, I don't know. About 9:48, Nancy was dropped off at her home. We don't know what family member dropped her off. I guess they're keeping that tight-lipped. Her garage door, this is January 31st, which would be the day that they had the get-together. The sheriff won't say much about who dropped her off at home. At 9:50, the garage door closes. Now, a lot of people are like, well, what about the garage door? That's crazy. Sometimes people just like to be put in, like leave and enter a certain doorway, not necessarily the front door. I remember when I was a kid, we never used the front door. We always went out the side door. So that's not too unusual to me. And they're like, but she's old and she had trouble walking. Well, if he drove right up to the garage door, I think she could get in there in 2 minutes. So that doesn't alarm me too much either. Now, February 1st, 1:47 a.m. This is where we're seeing the footage that was released yesterday of like what they see the intruder would have looked like. You know, the face mask, the backpack, all that stuff. So that 1:47 a.m. is when he disables the doorbell cam, not knowing. See, like, people are like, well, she didn't have a service. I'm like, well, I never had a service on my doorbell, but it was a different brand. But I could always just hook it up to my app, and I could see who comes and goes. And I didn't pay for any service. But this is Nest, so I don't know. So 1:47, it's disconnected. At 2:12 is when camera software detects movement, but again, no available video because there wasn't a subscription. Now at 2:28 a.m. is when her pacemaker disconnects from her iPhone. So she would have gotten far enough away from the iPhone that the signal was lost. So there was not a sense that her heart had had an event. That wasn't recorded. It was that she got too far away from her iPhone. So that means from 1:47 when the doorbell gets disconnected to 2:28 a.m. when the pacemaker is disconnected. So that's 41 minutes. So the assailant was in that house for 41 minutes. That's odd. Or in and out of the house, but 41 minutes. I think that's a long time if you're robbing. I think you want to get in, get out before anybody notices. This could be a robbery gone wrong, quite possibly, hence the blood, but they've not said anything about there being blood in the house. So I don't know if they're keeping tight-lipped about that or not. But another forensic guy had said this. When the blood that's on there, there's some droplets that look like they're just straight down, so there's no movement. But then there's like a big splatter, which would be like high velocity. So if somebody got hit on the head, boom, it would with blood. But then there'd be little droplets after the impact. In my opinion, this is what it sounds like. Now at 11:56 a.m., The family, after church, decides to go and check on Nancy at her house, and 12:03 is when 911 was called. So good that they called them as soon as possible. The blood on the front door, we've covered that. Sheriff hasn't confirmed yet whether it was forced entry or not. So that's interesting. Her car was towed away to process it to see, I guess, if there's any blood or anything in the vehicle. An Uber. Again, I don't know why she would take an Uber, but family members alleged to drive her home. And we're taking the family's testimony as the only evidence that happened that night because they were allegedly the last ones to see her alive. Police are trying to look at traffic cameras to see if they can pick up on anything. And right now, law enforcement's offering a $50,000 reward. So that's significant. The ransom note, which is weird. I guess you don't hear about ransom notes much. I don't know if there's lots of them and we just don't hear about them. But the ransom note that they got asked for $6 million, but they provided no proof of life, which is weird. But again, I've never kidnapped anybody. The note says she's safe but scared, and they want money put into crypto, I guess as a way of laundering it so you don't know where it comes from or who it's going to. But the note was very structured, so it wasn't something they typed quickly and sent. It had structure and form to it. The note was sent to TMZ and 2 local stations, and there's been very little communication. I think maybe 2 other notes have been out. Again, with a Bitcoin, I'm not sure what that's about. So the deadline was Thursday to get the money, but then it changed to Monday at 5 p.m. Today's Thursday. The police were at the daughter's house for 3 hours and came out with some bags. One was a white plastic, looks like a trash bag, and one's in a brown paper shopping bag that they took out of Annie's house, the daughter. So Nancy's 84 years old, needs meds, and they're saying without those, she could die within 24 hours. She's got heart issues. Like I said, she's got a pacemaker. So the FBI, since it's a kidnapping, they're now involved in it. A phrase in the email makes it sound like the person is local to Tucson. They say that once they receive the money, they will bring her back to Tucson within 2 hours. So that's where TMZ is getting that 2-hour radius. So they think that they've got their eyes on somebody else. So other footage has come forward of about 5 miles from where Nancy's house is. Somebody with a backpack. They don't have a mask on or anything. But the time tables overlap. So I don't think it could be that guy if the timestamp on that video is correct from a doorbell camera. Gosh. Now, was she a victim because she's got a famous daughter? Was it money? Was it a break-in gone wrong? We're not really sure. It could be any of those things or something else. Images from the camera that were released yesterday show the front door of the suspect from head to toe was covered. Mask, gloves. It looks like maybe 2 pairs of rubber gloves on, like doctor kind of rubber gloves. He had a firearm, and these images, how they were recovered was from residual data from back-end systems. So they were able to get them. Thank goodness for that. Now, one thing tells me this person's not a gun person, as in he's not had training. Definitely not from the police department, not from military, because the holster was right in front, in the front of his crotch, which could be bad if it goes off accidentally. That could hit his femoral artery and he could die. But the way the handle of the gun's pointed, it's pointed so he could pick it up like this. So he's probably got a right hand. He's a right-handed person, right-hand dominant. And the gun holster is interesting because it's a revolver gun holster, it looks like to me. And it's white with black trim. You don't see that a lot, or like I've never seen that a lot. That's something, mostly they're black, that I've seen. So it's either made out of leather or made out of plastic, possibly. But that's interesting. Now, could he be in a mob? Could he be in, a gang? I don't know. But that is a weird place to have it, unless you're just trying to look like a badass. anyway. So, so it's a revolver holster, but the gun itself is a semi-automatic, so it's not even the right holster for the gun. Idiot. The backpack appears to be full, so I'm like, why would you bring a full backpack if it was going to be a break-in? Now, it could have a tarp in it, it could have a rope, it could have whatever else in it if they were wanting to kidnap. So that makes some sense there. But backpack appears to be full. I mean, very tightly full. But they're able, from these pictures, it was this kind of backpack. They do like a Google reverse search, reverse image, and they're able to find it. And also, if you notice when he's walking up, there's a moment where there's like a light, looks like it's coming out of his mouth. So he either had like a small flashlight in his mouth, or what they call bite flashlights. So his hands are free to do whatever, and the flashlight is shining out of his face. But you're able to see that he's got some facial hair going on. So definitely a dude. There's claiming anywhere he's between 5'11" to 6'2", possibly a size 12 shoe. So that's the information that we've got right now. So hopefully she's found safe. That's the goal, you know. My heart goes out to the family and friends of this lady. And like I said, she was Savannah Guthrie's mother, who is a host on the Today Show. Sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. But keep our fingers crossed and prayers going out that they're able to find her as quickly as possible. Well, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, click on the subscribe button, click on the thumbs up. I would totally appreciate it. It helps me a lot. So thank you for watching Punk Rock Sherlock. See me again later.